In this journey of conversion that we've been speaking about these last few days, one of the spots that we come to as we talk about the end of these seven steps in that journey of conversion is one that I think is very difficult. That's why I put it towards the end. It seems elementary. It seems like, man, that should be right towards the front of the journey. But ultimately, I think it takes some growth, some movement in our relationship with Christ before we're able to tackle this one. And that's acceptance, acceptance of yourself, and acceptance of God's love, ultimately. The reason that's so difficult is because it seems logical that God would not love us. I mean, yes, we know that he loves us. We've seen enough bumper stickers and shirts and songs and stuff that say, smile, God loves you. But just logically, if you lay it out, it's like, well, God hates sin. I sin. Therefore, God hates me. I know his job is to love me, but does he really like me? Does he really treasure me like I treasure him? And I think for a lot of us, that's a really difficult thing to accept. But in reality, it's one of the most important things that we can receive God's love. I mean, what we have to offer God as opposed to what he's offering us is very little. I heard once that, the posture of all of creation is this. It's open hands. It's reception. That all of creation just is open to receiving. Sunlight, water, food. All of these things they come from God. They come from the sky. And we're like the only part of creation that we take. Well, I'll get this for myself. I'll choose to be my own God. I'll take this apple, I'll make this thing, I'll make my own happiness. And in reality, the greatest thing we can do is let go where we want to take and open those hands up, open our hearts up to accept and to receive. St. Francis says, we are who we are in the eyes of God, nothing more, nothing less. Do we deserve God's love? No. Is it logical? No, it's not. The thing that we need to ultimately come around is coming to God without keeping score, where we're not lining up and stacking up a number of reasons why God shouldn't love us or why we don't deserve God's love, or maybe this is why God's mad at me. All that stuff, yes, it's illogical. God's love is like nothing that we know. We don't love anyone like that. And so it's difficult to imagine that we can be loved like that in return. But it's a very important step that we can begin to even ask God to allow us to be open, to receive and to accept that kind of love along with the rest of creation. We can receive that.